Okay.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. It's Kay here on behalf of Handy Hippo Crafts, www.handyhippo.co.uk, with another in the series of the ABC of Paper Crafting. Welcome, and I hope everyone is well. This week, as promised, is a week designed to talk about embellishments, whether it be for card making or any paper crafting. I think most people, whether short or long term in the crafting world, would agree that embellishments are really quite important. They can actually make or break a project depending on how you use them, what you're using, and what your concept is. If you mismatch colours and things, it can become very obvious, especially if you're working on something with a lot of detail. However, if you are working in contrasting colours and you're using stripes, dots, big dots, spirals, flourishes, whatever, you will find that they invariably will blend. It's one of those anomalies, we'll say. So today I have an array of embellishments. I have to say it's tip of the iceberg stuff because there is a wealth of embellishments available. This is just a few of what you'll find on the Handy Hippo site. Some of them you'll find in the clearance department, some you'll find on the everyday departments in craft supplies. And just to run through a few, we have things like paper doilies. There is certainly a nice little array of those available which can be used on your cards. You can either use them as a lace trim and cut them up, or fold them and just add other things to them, sentiments, flowers, whatever your heart desires. Quite a nice thing to have in your little stash. Then there are these things. These are actually quite invaluable. They will make a card just in their own right. This is the capsule collection from Papermania. They are possible to make yourselves if you don't want to buy them. Tim Holtz has a die that will allow you to cut out and utilise a strip to form these lovely little embellishments. And you can see buttons on the top. Well, buttons are a boon. Again, there is an amazing array of buttons on the Handy Hippo site for you to have a look at. This is another variation of a buckle. It's the fleur-de-lis, and you'll see it's got two little holes just ready for you to stitch through. I'm hoping the glare allows it to be seen. Just a hole up there and down there on the embellishment. It is a button, but it would make a delightful little corner or an addition to perhaps a flourish. Very, very usable in my opinion, and you get 6 in that packet. Then there are the ribbons that are available on the site. This is the Anita's Everyday ribbon, and you get 3 meters on these little spools. And there's a gold, metallic gold, and then these 2 spotty ones. And again, it's tip of the iceberg. There is just a wealth of different kind of ribbons that are available to you for any project, from wedding projects and invitations to your everyday card for a child. The organza ribbon, as I've already explained and talked about in another video, this truly is amazing. It's Italian. You get, what did I say, 20 meters at 15 millimeter, and it's probably one of the best I've encountered. Still haven't changed my mind on that. Again, an array of different colours, absolutely delightful. There are pop candy dots or candy shop dots in black and pink. There are a multitude of other colours. These are the ones that have been decorated, so as the light hits them you get a different reflection and tone on the actual jewel. Again, the mount pads to fix your embellishments on with. There are these lovely little trinkets in a separate little field, and these obviously you could add a little picture to that you've downloaded, or a flower or a cabochon, anything that you care to mention really, and it would be a delightful addition to your card. Then there are brads of various sorts and types. These are just little metal flower ones. As you can see, they're in different colours: purple, greens, pink and yellow. And this again is just the very tip of the iceberg. There are diamante brads, there are letter brads, flower brads, any kind of brad that you would care to think of in reality. And depending on what's on vogue within the craft world, someone somewhere will come up with a brad to suit that purpose. There is this little charming bottle called Glamour Dust, and it's by Deco Art. It actually comes in gold and this crystal, which is absolutely superb. I use this all the time if I want to apply glitter to a project. It's very fine, it goes on and on forever. This is a 29.5 gram pot, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. It picks up the colour behind the glitter and throws that back out when the light hits it. And I think of all the glitters that I've used, and they've not been inconsiderable, this is one that I keep going back to time and time again for that extra little something, particularly at Christmas time or on a project where I want a very fine glitter that isn't going to clump and take over whatever embellishment I'm using. And I would use that on any of the things I've talked about so far in this little video. Then there are these kind of embellishments. They're die cut embellishments. This is Kaiser Craft, a great company. They deal with all sorts of things, paper pads and stamps and all that kind of thing. This is a coordination pack which I believe goes with a paper pad called Bonjour, but it is just delightful. You can see there are birds and butterflies and mail stamps and that kind of thing, ideal for added embellishments on your work. Handy Hippo have some of these little stick pins, as I call them. This is by Petaloo. It's an accessory. You can add extra bits to it to embellish it and just give it a bit more interest. As it sits there, it probably doesn't look very interesting. It's a leaf on top of a needle, but they have been embossed, and you do get the embellishment on the leaf to show what it's supposed to be. The only thing I would say about these is, whilst they're not particularly pointed at the end, they could still cause a bit of damage to little hands. As you can see, it's about 2 inches long. This is the leaf one. There are a couple of other little that could almost be a stamen shape there. They are very soft. They're not going to cause any deep and penetrating problems to anybody that happened to stick them into their skin, but it would be jolly painful. So if you're using this kind of thing as an embellishment, either find something to protect the point, or at the very least anchor it so it can't be pulled out of the project or fall out of the project, more to the point, which could lead to damage of someone quite unsuspecting. These are petaloo flowers. Again, they're absolutely delightful. This is the hydrangea range of floral embellishment. As you can see, lots and lots of different flowers and leaves in there, varying sizes. Some of them have a little pearl in the centre, which I'll show you very shortly. They are very, very glittered to give them a very pretty outlook when you put them onto your work. So that's another glorious embellishment that is available on Handy Hippo. Then there are these, I have to say, superior, and I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but it is the Graphic 45. You do get what you pay for. And if I take one of these out of the tack here, they often go along with paper ranges, but you don't necessarily need to keep them with the paper range that you've bought, because they really are quite delightful and could almost be standalone embellishments to a card to make a centre feature or what have you. But if I show you this one as an example, it's really, really firm. It doesn't want to be flexible in any way. The design on it is superb, and if you look at the thickness here of the chipboard that the image has been mounted onto, you can see the quality. It really, really is worth that extra investment. This one I showed some time ago. This is card as opposed to the die cut. This is die cut and card. This is die cut and almost the wood chip strength. It really is. It's about 1 millimetre in thickness, I would say. But this is another Graphic 45 to fit with a paper pad. Really superb quality. You don't have any problems popping them out of the little background area there. They really are a delight. All of these things, as I say, are available on Handy Hippo. You just have to go and peruse as much as you're able to, and I guarantee something will pop out and it'll be a must-have on the embellishment side. This is washi tape. Again, there's a very good selection available on Handy Hippo, and again you can purchase to marry up with whatever project or colours that you're using. This is a material based, well, it feels like material, but it is adhesive, therefore it's probably just a good quality paper. I've not actually used it, in truth. I bought this some time ago and I've not actually put it to any use as yet. Another quite popular embellishment, although not perhaps as much as it used to be in the height of its popularity, is Flower Soft. Now this is absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. It's by KTSueDesigns.com, but it is available on Handy Hippo. It comes in a variety of colours, but texturally what it does is add a sort of a moss effect to your designs. If you stamp and use this for your cards, or if you put it around and onto perhaps a flower that you've punched, it does give it a really textured finish. It expands basically. If I were to take the lid off this and put it into a different container, it would probably double or treble in size. So cost effectively, it's brilliant. It adds a really lovely texture to your projects, providing you use the right medium, and basically that would be a PVA glue that dried clear so that it didn't affect the colours that you were using. This is silver and obviously ideal for your Christmas decorations. This is a moss green and the colours are absolutely gorgeous, and a russet red, and this again is tip of the iceberg stuff. I've got two different containers here because they were bought at different times. but essentially you will find these on Handy Hippo, and if you want to add a different texture to your work, this is certainly something that would live up to that ideal. It really is excellent. And then you have your embellishments that actually fit with pads in their own right, along the lines of the Graphics 45, but they're not so heavy on the pocket, we'll say. This is the Botanic paper range, and they have flowers to match that, and there are 4 packs on this sheet. I have to say this paper range is absolutely delightful. Butterflies, flora and fauna, flowers, it really is superb. And it's not until you actually look at it out of the packet, which I ought to show you today, because it is made and put together in the UK, do you see that it really is absolutely adorable as a paper stack. I'd not actually realised when Handy Hippo sent it to me. I did choose it. I was given the opportunity to choose a paper stack that appealed to me, and I really, because I'd not encountered this paper line before, I didn't know quite what to expect, but it is absolutely delightful. It really, really is. And as a marrying up embellishment feature, these then go with this paper line perfectly. I don't think they would be particularly standalone embellishments, but it depends what project you had in mind really as to what you were looking for, and it really is a personal choice. When you're making your cards, you're usually not making for the sake of making. It's usually because it's someone special's birthday, wedding anniversary. Maybe you just want to say hello to someone you've not seen for a while. You do tend to try and personalise these cards just by virtue of the fact of knowing the person that you're making the card for. So it's very lovely to have things like this that you don't have to have a headache over trying to marry things up when it comes coordinated, and the embellishments are there for you as well. It really is a delight. The other thing I wanted to show you was the Worcester World, which is this one. And I think this one is Webster's Pages, sorry. This is an American paper line, and the Americans really do put the British to shame on their craft products, I have to say it. And I'm not being disloyal, Britain, I just think you need to get your act together and look around and see what's available out there. If it weren't for Handy Hippo, I wouldn't have come across a paper line like this. And again, these superb embellishments, they really are a delight, and it's not until you get them home and someone like me can actually tell you that they are really great quality. I mean, these embellishments, they're called designer cameos. I'm just looking to see what they're made from. They were conceived in North Carolina. Someone there had this wonderful concept idea and ran with it and came up with lovely little embellishments like this. They're bright, they're cheerful, you know, they would make anybody's day, or indeed give a child something absolutely wonderful to look at on their card. And the paper stack lends itself to the same kind of thing. I think primarily it would be for younger children, but there are some very grown-up younger children in my age group that would quite like this, so I'm considering myself a younger grown-up child just for the moment, and I would find that very acceptable if I found that on a card. So that's another amazing embellishment, another paper line, which I think I have to bring to your attention, because it's not always relevant to go through your stash, find what you've got. Sometimes you just want that quick fix that you know is going to work really, really quickly, really, really well, and that's what you grab. Now the other thing that I would like to bring to your attention is the some of what I talked about last week. Oh, just to give you another thing that comes with this pad that I've just shown you, these glorious bright ribbons, and look at the colours on them. This beautiful peach, this blue and yellow and aqua or white colour, and then the yellow. That really is just that little pack alone there, and you would make some beautiful cards from it. It's a 6x6 paper pad. This kind of thing would even lend itself to mini albums and that kind of thing, so it is very, very versatile. And talking about versatility brings me on to the crossover in crafting that I feel I need to mention at this point, because we're now on episode 5 in the series, and we're at the stage now where it is relevant to say that a lot of what you're seeing in these videos can cross over in your paper crafting. So I've talked about last week a die, if you recall, by Anna Griffin with the belly band. It's an embossing folder. Now I've also talked with you about dies, and what I've got here, again available on Handy Hippo, it's the Spellbinders and it's the butterflies. What I've done is married up 3 things from my stash here on the table. One is the Anna Griffin embossing folder with belly band. The other are the butterflies from Spellbinders, and I've also used the Petaloo flowers, and I've made this card. Now I'm hoping you can pick up on the embossed folder here, the actual purple colour. I've used the Petaloo flowers. There is one of the stick pins or the pretty pins from the package. These flowers have got pearls in them and glitter, but the Anna Griffin background is what is really setting off the whole thing. I've used a little bit of gold mirror card. The belly band there is made up of the base of the card, but I'm hoping the embossing on the card is clear. No, the film crew says not, but it is there, and it's a shame that you can't quite pick it up. I've used the Spellbinder butterfly, I've used the flat base, which is the embossed bit, and then I've used the cutout bit on the top. I've used some of the little fallout bits from the butterfly to make a butterfly thread that goes up through the card, and all of that is achieved, as far as the butterfly goes, by just curling the wings of the butterfly. Gary, can you get the other card by the computer, sorry? And all you do is roll them around something round, and then pick up the leaves so that when they come to sit on your work, you can just hold them by the leaf there, anchor them down to the plain side of the butterfly, marry up the antenna and glue the body together, and then perhaps put some gems or something in the centre of the butterfly. This again, as an embellishment, can be used as a standalone feature if you just wanted to make a tiny little card that was a bit whimsical, and just say something like "thinking of you" with the butterfly on the front. Embellishments are very much what you look for in a card. Another good embellishment is the Tim Holtz die, which is the poinsettia, but it's tattered, very much like the tattered flower, and it is an absolute delight when it's put together. Again, it's available on Handy Hippo, but as a standalone on some green and red and gold card and paper, it would make a delightful embellishment and standalone card. Or you could pretty it up with big bows of ribbon and other bits and pieces and glitter to transform it. It's time to actually start thinking outside of the box with all of these things, and thinking, well, okay, I've got, say for instance, the butterflies, what else can I use them on? Well, you can use them on cards, you can use them on anything, any paper craft project that you care to mention. Another die, although I haven't got the packaging because I very foolishly, when I bought this some time ago, threw it away, is a memory box. And if I show you what it looks like when it is cut out, again, it's another standalone embellishment that would make a whole card. And all I've done there is added 3 little bits of green gem, a little bit of green ribbon. And you may say, oh well, you know, the dies are expensive, but if you have a lot of cards to make and you want something on the classic side, then it's a one-off investment. The dies are metal, they last a lifetime providing you look after them and you don't, like I've done on a couple of occasions when I've cut out perhaps 2 different dies on one page, allow them to overlap. That will cause problems, but these things are very much down to personal choice, down to what your pocket can stand. And all of these things, I've used this here, the next time I might use it on a canvas. You know, all of these things, once you get into crafting and you find out what it is that pleases you the most, all of these things can cross over. I don't think there's anything in my craft stash that I can't utilise in lots and lots of different ways. And when you look at what you're buying and what you're hoping to achieve with the products that you buy, then, you know, don't necessarily be put off by something that is perhaps a little bit more expensive if it means that it's something that you can get out time and time again and reuse. I think that is quite important, and there are lots of dies at the moment, lots of dies if you look on Handy Hippo's site that will allow you to use them in different ways. I hope that's been helpful to you. There is such an array of things available. It would be very wrong of me to try and cover everything in this series, but hopefully seeing these things used and, you know, put together in a card format makes it a little bit more understandable and opens up your mind, because at the end of the day, apart from the fact that you might want to rob a bank to get everything that your heart desires in the craft world, it is down to your imagination and what you want to do that justifies whatever you purchase, really. So that said, I shall leave you to it. Please go along to the Handy Hippo YouTube channel to find the secret word. People are actually saying now that they're finding the words and they're looking forward to the next episode. I hope that's the case with this one. I believe the next episode will be about colouring and the use of various mediums for colouring. So I hope you join me then. Thank you very much for your time. Take care, everyone. Happy crafting. Bye bye.